So this woman is probably the worst hitman I've ever seen, and she is about to botch this hit. But this story starts in Birmingham, England, with this guy, who we'll call father, and this other guy, who we'll call son, because they're father and son. But one day, father and son, they're out at this small clothing store, and they get into an argument with these guys, the shop owners. Now, I don't know how this argument starts or what it's about, but it escalates. And pretty quickly, it gets physical, and they all start to fight, and it is chaos, and things are getting broken, and the shop gets all trashed, and father and son end up leaving injured. But they aren't gonna let this slide. They vow to get revenge. So fast forward to the next year, and father and son are still upset about the fight in the clothing store, and they decide the only way to truly get revenge on the shop owners is to unalive them. But they don't want to do it themselves. It's too risky. So they hire a hitman. Here's the thing about this hitman, though. Her name's Amy, and she's 40 years old, and she lives thousands of miles away from them in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where she works a normal, regular day job selling tickets for the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team. And there is no indication that she's an actual real hitman or that she's ever assassinated anyone before. The only thing we know about her is that she posts on her Instagram a lot. So we don't know why father and son chose her as their hitman or how they linked up with her, but regardless, son hires Amy, this regular-ass woman from the suburbs, as a contract killer. And Amy agrees to fly to England to do the job, and she buys some pew-pews to ship them over to England because I guess pew-pews are hard to get there, and then she flies over. And she's all excited about this gig, and she posts about it on her Instagram. To Manchester we go. Can't wait to see my BFF partner in crime. Lol. So then father and son, they meet Amy at her hotel, and together they all finalize the plan. Then Amy gets one of the shop owners' number, and she calls him, and she pretends to be interested in buying a Volkswagen he's selling. She's like, I'm interested in buying a Volkswagen you're selling. And then they make plans to meet up, and this meetup is where she plans to assassinate them. And of course, before she goes on this hit, she posts a picture of herself on Instagram with the devil horns. Anyway, the next night, Amy puts on a hijab as a disguise, and then she drives her rental car over to meet one of the shop owners near his home. And so then she gets there, and the shop owner pulls up, and as he's getting out of his car, Amy gets out of her car, leaving the door open. And she's got a pew-pew, and she walks toward him, and she raises her arm, pointing the pew-pew right at his head.